I've always found that bighorn sheep are an animal that always makes for great photographs. Particularly here in Colorado, it's a very iconic animal. It is the state animal, after all. And in November, while the rut is going on, the hierarchy of these herds really gets sorted out. And there is a great place really close to town where you can see this all play out in real time. It's Waterton Canyon, and I spent the whole weekend there, so here's what I saw. The Waterton Canyon trailhead is located in Littleton, right in between Roxborough Park and Chatfield Reservoir. This trail is accessible both by foot and also by my preferred method of transportation, the bicycle. Bring one, trust me, you won't regret it. Also note that dogs are not allowed on this trail as to not disturb the wildlife. The first stage of the rut, or the pre-rut, happens in late October and goes into mid-November. And it's during this time that all the photographers show up and get excited because that's when you can catch that iconic shot of those bighorn rams headbutting, fighting for dominance in the herd. This sequence here seemed like the perfect setup for some rams headbutting. Got a female stuck in between two competing males, but ultimately nothing really happened. One male kept chasing the female, and then the other male just didn't care at all. These two rams didn't seem to be competing either. In fact, they seemed to have more of a fun sibling sort of relationship. As I was wrapping up shooting for this first day, this bighorn ram came down onto the road, so I started rolling some video. Keep in mind, I am all the way zoomed in with my 600mm lens, so I'm at a safe distance. But I'll tell you, when he looked over and started staring directly at me, I felt it in my soul. It was very intimidating and definitely got the adrenaline pumping. Whew. Well, I just got back to the car, and I forgot to bring the vlogging camera with me, so I did not vlog anything while I was out there shooting the bighorns, but it was good. Found a bunch of rams. They were way back, further than I've ever gone before to see them. Well, I found them. It was good though. It was worth it. So yeah, saw some minor headbutting, so you know it's ramping up, but we're not quite there yet for the rut. Again, I photographed bighorn sheep hundreds of times, and they still always amaze me at how well they climb up just sheer cliffs. It still just blows my mind every single time. So I returned to the canyon the next day and I found the herd crossing the river, which made some really nice photos. But I started noticing some behavior that led me to believe that my aspirations of seeing rams headbutting might not happen. Hierarchy determines everything in a herd of bighorn sheep. As I mentioned earlier in the video with the pre-rut, the rams will butt heads to determine that hierarchy. But what happens when the hierarchy is already set? Do the other rams in the herd just fall back into line? Well, I think that's what I was starting to see here with this herd. This guy right here definitely caught my attention as being the likely alpha male of this herd. As I followed him along shooting more video and more photos, I noticed some behavior that would lead me to believe this. Well, for example, here's a clip with our alpha male again of the herd, and he is pushing the ewes away from the rival males in a tactic that's known as mate guarding. And after he pushes the ewes away, he goes over to the other males just to make sure that they're not trying anything sneaky or they're not going to challenge him, which they don't. I turned my focus back up to the road because these two rams up here were getting all the attention. What you're seeing here is another common behavior during the rut. It's called the Flehmen response, where the sheep will curl his upper lip, expose his teeth, and it's a way for him to bring in all sorts of scents that are nearby, and what he's looking for is pheromones from hopefully ready to mate female. But unfortunately right here, there was only just another ram around. Meanwhile, back at the river, our alpha male had to unexpectedly run up the cliffside because a few females had gone wayward, and he wasn't having any of that. But he quickly corralled them back down into the main herd and started focusing them all to cross the river back up to the main road. Once back up on the main road, it was really interesting to see the main herd all together and all the rams interacting. Every now and then, I thought they were maybe squaring up to challenge each other, but I think at this point, this herd's hierarchy is already settled. In some of the clips here, you'll see the rams rubbing their horns together. I think at this point, that's more a sign of affection or submissiveness, letting the alpha know that, hey, this is your show. I'm just living in it. No headbutting this year for me, but I still really enjoyed my time in the canyon, shooting the Bighorn sheep this weekend. They always make great photos and always make some good video. All right, well, that was the weekend I spent out just this past weekend with the Bighorn sheep. I was out there Saturday and a Sunday, and man, it eludes me still, but I was really looking for the Bighorn rams. Oh man, I still don't have that shot. And I follow along a photography group on Facebook that's dedicated all to Waterton Canyon, and man, tons of people have been posting that shot of those rams really going at it, and I just thought, well, yep, this is the weekend for it. They're very active, and they're headbutting, so this will be the weekend for it, and it'd be great to go knock that shot off my bucket list. And yeah, and then it just did not happen. I think I ended up being a couple of days late. I mentioned in the video where I think that hierarchy of the rams is been set, and there's nothing left to fight for. So having said that, though, it was still a blast. I've been blessed with some pretty good weather on the weekends so far this November, so I was happy to get out there and enjoy the weather and still make some great shots, and I think get some pretty cool video. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's been, I think, 3 weeks since I posted a video, and that is because the past 2 weekends have been kind of busted outings. I went out like 2 weekends ago. We got our first big snowstorm here. And I believe technically that was actually the end of October. And so I thought, yep, I'm going to go out and shoot a bunch of stuff out here in the snow, and ended up being it was okay. It just kind of ended up being a little bit of a bust. I may put some clips from that outing, like in like a week in the life episode, maybe down the line. But overall, that didn't really pan out that much. So that was kind of a weekend that was kind of gone. And then the weekend after that, I went out trying to shoot again film with that big 500 millimeter lens that I was trying to use and struggling with very much in my film video that I put out about 3 weeks ago. And that is not going well. It is so hard to shoot with that lens. I really thought I got a shutter release, and I was like, oh, that's the only thing that I was missing. I went out to the Arsenal one day with film to try to shoot, and it was just dead. And what there was moving around, and so it was just, shooting with film and that lens is very difficult. So that was kind of a bust and ended up being kind of another weekend gone. Because again, that's really the only time I have time to go out and shoot is on the weekends. And I've also unfortunately been dealing with a very sick doggo. I put him in the kennel while I was in Florida for that week, and I came home and he got a really nasty kennel cough, and he's got all of his vaccinations, but there's a strain going around Colorado right now that is like the Bordetella is not doing anything to fight against it. So I have been to the vet with him 4 times because it was so bad. And I think he's kind of turning the corner. He's still not 100%. But every day he's kind of just slowly getting a little bit better. And that has been just a total nightmare. I've been kind of dealing with that as well. So, but anyways, the Bighorns were awesome this weekend. So hopefully that you enjoyed the video. And I am going into full-on owl mode coming up here. So I will be out for owls, I think, coming up this weekend. Definitely one of the days this weekend. So look for some stuff coming up on that. And as always, a good way to see just stuff as I'm shooting it is on Instagram. I usually post stuff from all my outings, like usually that day. So if you have not followed me on Instagram yet, I am at Scott Hamill Photo. So give me a follow there. And again, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.